Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. The reason you haven't started is not because you lack talent, not because you lack opportunity, not because the world is against you. It's because you're waiting for somebody else to tell you you're good enough. You're waiting for permission to step into your own life. You're waiting for a green light from people who are still stuck at red themselves. And while you're waiting, life is moving. Time is moving. Opportunities are moving. But you're standing still because nobody clapped yet. Listen to me. You don't need approval to breathe. So why do you need approval to dream? You don't need permission to exist. So why do you need permission to become extraordinary? When you truly love yourself, you stop asking the world, is it okay if I try? And you start telling the world, watch me. Self. Love is not arrogance. It's not ego. It's not thinking you're better than anyone else. It's finally understanding that you are not less than anyone else either. Some of you are shrinking to fit into rooms you've already outgrown. You're dimming your light so insecure people don't feel uncomfortable. You're playing small so you don't get criticized. But hear me, no one who is building something great has time to tear you down. The loudest critics are usually the people who quit on themselves. And if you keep letting broken voices define your value, you will never step into your power. You gotta learn how to validate yourself. When nobody says good job, you say it. When nobody notices your progress, you notice it. When nobody believes in your vision, you become the belief. Because if you don't approve of yourself, no amount of outside praise will ever feel like enough. And if you do approve of yourself, no amount of doubt can stop you. I need you to understand this. The crowd is fickle. They cheer when you're winning and disappear when you're struggling. If your motivation comes from applause, your discipline will collapse in silence. But when your motivation comes from self-respect, from self-love, from an inner decision that you are worth the effort, then it doesn't matter who's watching. You show up anyway, you grind anyway, you build anyway. Some of the greatest moves you will ever make in your life will be made alone, in quiet rooms, without recognition, without validation, without guarantees. And that's where most people quit. They quit because nobody is hyping them up, but champions hype themselves. They don't wait for energy, they generate it. They don't wait for confidence, they practice until confidence shows up. Stop outsourcing your worth. Stop handing the pen of your life story to people who aren't even brave enough to write their own. Your life is not a group project. This is your assignment, your mission, your responsibility. And the moment you decide, I approve of me, something shifts. Your posture changes, your decisions change, your standards rise. You stop tolerating things that drain you. You stop chasing things that don't align with you. You stop begging for seats at tables you were meant to build. Because when you love yourself, you don't need the spotlight to shine, you bring your own light. When you love yourself, rejection doesn't destroy you, it redirects you. When you love yourself, you don't ask, do they believe in me? You ask, do I believe in me? And once that answer becomes yes, you become unstoppable because the one person who is with you every single day has finally decided you are worth betting on. Let me talk to you about your energy. Because some of you are tired, not because you're working too hard, but because you're allowing too much. You're allowing negativity. You're allowing drama. You're allowing people who don't clap for you to sit front row in your life. And then you wonder why you're drained. You wonder why your focus is broken. You wonder why your passion feels weak. It's not that you don't have greatness in you. It's that your energy is leaking. Hear me clearly. Everybody cannot have access to you. When you love yourself, you stop giving VIP access to people who bring general admission behavior. You stop answering every call. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop entertaining conversations that shrink your vision. Self-love means you understand that your energy is sacred, and anything sacred must be protected. Some of you are trying to build a championship life with people who don't even train. You're trying to run with individuals who love comfort more than growth. And every time you start elevating, they remind you of who you used to be. They say things like, "You've changed, and you know what? You're supposed to change. Growth requires separation. Elevation requires isolation sometimes. You cannot soar like an eagle and keep walking with chickens." Protecting your energy doesn't mean you hate people. It means you love yourself enough to choose peace over popularity. It means you choose alignment over attention, because not everybody who smiles with you is assigned to grow with you. And if you keep letting everybody speak into your life, you'll be confused about your own voice. Listen, energy is everything. The room you sit in matters. The conversations you entertain matter. The music you listen to matters. The content you consume matters, because what gets into your mind gets into your spirit, and what gets into your spirit shows up in your actions. You cannot expect to build a powerful life while constantly absorbing powerless thinking. Some of you need to do an audit. Who drains you? Who doubts you? Who only calls when they need something? Who laughs at your dreams instead of feeding them? Self-love says, "I can't afford that," and not because you think you're better, but because you know you're becoming better. And becoming requires boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They are filters to keep chaos out. And if you don't create them, life will create consequences for you: burnout, frustration, resentment, distraction. That's what happens when you don't guard your energy. Let me tell you something powerful. You can't focus on your future if you're constantly cleaning up emotional messes from people who refuse to grow. You can't pour into your purpose if your cup is always empty, and you can't expect excellence when your environment celebrates mediocrity. When you truly love yourself, you become selective. Selective about where you go. Selective about what you tolerate. Selective about who gets your time, because time is life, and if someone wastes your time, they're wasting a piece of your life. You want to know why some people move faster toward success. It's not just talent. It's not just resources. It's clarity. They guard their focus like security guards at the door of their destiny. They don't argue with negativity. They remove themselves from it. They don't debate their vision. They protect it. You don't need to announce your boundaries. You enforce them. Quietly, consistently, powerfully, because the moment you start protecting your energy like your life depends on it, is the moment your life finally starts to rise. I need to speak to the part of you that still feels guilt, to the part of you that keeps replaying old mistakes like a movie you can't turn off. Because some of you aren't stuck because life is holding you back. You're stuck because you won't forgive yourself. You survived the storm, but you're still living like you're drowning. You made it out, but you keep walking back to the wreckage to remind yourself what you did wrong. Listen to me carefully. You are not your worst decision. But every time you say, "I should have known better, I messed everything up, I don't deserve better," you chain yourself to a version of you that no longer exists. That person made mistakes, yes. That person fell short, yes. But that person also learned, grew, and endured. And if you don't honor the growth, then the pain was wasted. Some of you are carrying shame like it's part of your identity. You introduce yourself to opportunities as your past instead of your potential. You walk into new seasons apologizing for old chapters. But hear me, your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. You don't live there anymore. You visited, you learned, you leave. Self-love means you stop punishing yourself for being human. Everybody falls. Everybody misjudges. Everybody has moments they wish they could rewind. The difference between people who rise and people who remain stuck is forgiveness. Because you cannot run toward your future while dragging chains from your past. Every step forward will feel heavy. Every dream will feel distant, not because it's impossible, but because you're exhausted from carrying what should have been put down. And let me tell you something powerful. Guilt can teach you, but it cannot transform you. Only grace can do that. Only compassion for yourself can rebuild what shame tears down. You don't grow by hating who you were. You grow by understanding why you were that person and choosing differently now. Some of you keep saying, "I'll move forward when I fix everything," but you can't rewrite yesterday. The only place your power exists is today, right now, in this breath, in this decision, and if you waste today fighting ghosts from yesterday, you'll miss the life that's trying to begin. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean what happened was okay. It means you refuse to let it define the rest of your story. It means you stop letting one chapter cancel the entire book. Because your story isn't over, not even close. You know what champions do. They turn pain into fuel. They turn regret into wisdom. They turn failure into foundation. They don't erase the past, they repurpose it. What broke them becomes what builds them. What embarrassed them becomes what humbles them. What hurt them becomes what strengthens them. But that transformation only happens when you stop saying, "Why did this happen to me?" and start saying, "What is this preparing me for?" Some of you are stronger, wiser, and more compassionate because of what you went through, but you refuse to see it because you're still focused on the loss instead of the growth. You're still measuring your worth by your worst moment instead of your current mindset. Self-love says, "I am not perfect, but I am progressing." Self-love says, "I fell, but I got back up." Self-love says, "I am allowed to evolve." And the moment you truly forgive yourself, something incredible happens. Your shoulders lift, your mind clears, your hope returns. You stop hiding, you stop shrinking, you stop believing you deserve less. Because deep down, you realize you paid for those lessons with pain, and you're not going to waste the tuition. You don't owe your past your future. You don't owe your mistakes your destiny. You don't owe your lowest moment a lifetime of punishment. You owe yourself freedom. Now let me be real with you, because this is where everything separates. Everybody says they love themselves, but very few people are willing to prove it. Self-love is not just what you say in the mirror when you're feeling good. It's what you do when you don't feel like doing anything at all. It's discipline, it's commitment, it's choosing growth over comfort, over and over and over again, because if you truly believe you are valuable, then you will invest in yourself like you matter. Some of you are waiting to feel motivated before you start changing your life. But feelings are unreliable. Feelings come and go. Champions don't build their lives on feelings, they build them on standards. When you love yourself deeply, you create non-negotiables. You say, "No matter how I feel, I'm showing up. No matter how hard it is, I'm doing the work. No matter who's watching, I'm becoming better." That's what commitment looks like. You go to bed earlier even when the phone is calling your name. You wake up earlier even when your body begs for 5 more minutes. You study when your friends are scrolling. You train when others are relaxing. Not because you hate fun, but because you love your future more than temporary comfort. You understand that every small decision is either building you or breaking you. Let me tell you something powerful. Nobody accidentally becomes great. Nobody just wakes up one day disciplined, focused, strong, and unstoppable. That version of you is built daily, choice by choice, habit by habit, sacrifice by sacrifice. And the process is not glamorous, it's repetitive, it's lonely sometimes, it's uncomfortable most of the time. But discomfort is the price of transformation. Some of you say you want success, but your daily routine is designed for average. You say you want change, but you protect the habits that keep you stuck. You say you believe in yourself, but your actions vote against you every single day. Self-love is alignment when what you say you want matches what you do consistently. Because here's the truth, you don't get what you wish for, you get what you prepare for. Loving yourself means feeding your mind with knowledge instead of junk. It means moving your body because your health matters. It means developing skills so your future has options. It means healing instead of hiding. It means growing even when nobody is clapping, nobody is noticing, nobody is rewarding you yet. Because you understand something most people don't, you are building a version of yourself that will eventually change everything. And yes, there will be days when you feel tired, days when doubt creeps in, days when progress feels invisible. But self-love whispers, keep going, not because it's easy, not because it's guaranteed, but because you are worth the effort. You are worth the discipline. You are worth the fight. Stop waiting for life to treat you like you matter. Show life that you matter by how you treat yourself. Invest in your mind. Invest in your body. Invest in your purpose. Invest in your peace, because when you start pouring into yourself consistently, something shifts. Your confidence stops being fragile. Your focus sharpens. Your tolerance for mediocrity disappears. You stop chasing opportunities and start attracting them, because people can feel when someone is serious about becoming their best. This is not about perfection. You will stumble, you will have off days, you will make mistakes, but commitment means you don't quit on yourself. You reset, you realign, you continue. Over time, those imperfect efforts compound into extraordinary results. One day, you'll look back and realize the life you wanted didn't come from one big moment. It came from thousands of small decisions to honor yourself when it was hard. Because real self-love isn't soft. It's strong enough to demand your greatness. And the moment you commit to becoming your best every single day, success stops being a dream and starts becoming your reality.